How do shields work in Evil Dead the game? I really wanted to make this because it's something that I've really looked into a lot to try to figure out whether or not Improved Amulet is worth taking, and really just how shields work in general, because it's information that's really good to know. And also I was kind of inspired to make this video because I had recently saw a post on the Evil Dead the game subreddit where somebody went into detail about why they believe it's worth taking Improved Amulet on Henry the Red specifically, because he has abilities that increase his shield bar length and increases the maximum number of shield bars that he can have. So I wanted to see if this perk is worth it, and how much of a difference does it actually make, and how much of a difference does it actually make taking it on Henry the Red. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dive in and take a look at this stuff, because I think there's also a lot of misinformation out there, and I just wanted to clear things up for people to hopefully inform you to make these decisions for yourself, better informed decisions when you are making your builds on any character that has access to Improved Amulet. So I'll get out of the way here so you can get a full idea of what's going on, and I'm not blocking anything. I also am not going to have like any B-roll footage. There's not going to be any gameplay going on while I read this off, because I want you to get the full breakdown of what's happening here. First, we'll come up here and look at the basics here. One bar, one shield bar, that's this right here. One shield bar is 150 shield. How do we know that? If you go in game and you level up your shield on a warrior, the level 4 upgrade will give you more information and tell you that it will upgrade it from 150 to 172.5. That is actually the case on every single pink F upgrade in the game, by the way. It doesn't show this extra information until you're ready to upgrade it. So like if you haven't put any points into your shield yet, you won't see this information. But if you put 3 points into it and you're hovering over putting a 4th point into it, it'll tell you what unlocking level 4 does for you. And it does that on every single statistic. So it's also a good way of measuring like how much your total health is at the moment. The odd thing though is that some things apply before your perks do and some things don't. That'll be covered in like a future Henry the Red video, and maybe even a future video that breaks down health. Like your pink F upgrades on shields always apply before your perks do, but that appears to not be the case with health upgrades. At least in my testing, health upgrades, it appears that your perks apply first and then it applies health. But I don't know if that's because health is just like additive. It's adding plus 100, plus 200 health versus plus 15% shield. I don't know why that's the case. It's very strange, but that's how it works. So we know that 150 is base on all characters. Pink F level 4 upgrade gives you plus 15%. That's what it says before you get to level 4. And then it specifies that plus 15% is going to take you from 150 to 172.5. All right, you still with me here? Then we want to take Improved Amulet level 3, which gives us a 10% increase to shield bar length. I can't imagine there would ever be a situation where you would take the full 12%. Other classes that have Improved Amulet, I think, typically don't have access to 12%. I can't remember off the top of my head if that's the case with every class. But regardless, I can't imagine you'd ever want to take the last upgrade on any class, including Warrior, because it's only a 2% extra for a perk point. That's just not worth it. So I don't see ever a situation where you would do that unless you were going for like a full tank build, and I just think that's silliness and not really worth it. Even if you are going a full tank build, you shouldn't put the last point into this. So Improved Amulet level 3 equals 10%. It's a 10% bonus to your shield bar length. So we take the 172.5 and we multiply that times 10. And now we have a shield bar length of 189.75. So at full shields, which is 4 bars, you have a net gain of 17.25 shield per bar for a total of plus 69. Nice shield at 4 bars. So that's what you're getting on a warrior. You get a net gain of 17.25 shield per bar for a total of 69 shield at 4 bars. We are specifying that this is on warriors because warriors are the only class that gets access to level 4 and 5 shield upgrades in game. All the other classes don't. However, when we look at Henry the Red, he has access to shields up, which makes him start the match with an additional shield bar, which, by the way, is very odd wording. Because if you were new to the game, you might look at that and be like, oh, he starts the match with an additional shield bar. So that just means that he starts with 2 shield bars, but he could still only go up to a maximum of 4, right? That's what a new player might think, because that's what the thing says. That's what it would seem to imply, but that's not the case. As you know, if you've played this game for any amount of time, you know that this means he gets an additional shield bar. He just gets an extra one. So he gets a total of 5. He's the only character that gets that. On top of that, at level 25, he gets Battle Harden, which increases his maximum health and shield bar length, and it's a 10% increase. So he basically gets level 3 Improved Amulet for free at level 25. So what does that mean? Well, on Henry the Red, it means 1 bar at base is 165 shield when he's level 25 and he has access to Battle Harden. The Battle Harden is already applying. The game is telling you that it's already applied because you can see you're at 165. And then the Pink F level 4 upgrade, which gives you plus 15%, then takes you up to 189.75. So now we're at 189.75. We start the match with an additional shield bar. That gives us 5 total. So 189.75 times 5 shield bars is a granddaddy total of 948.75 shields. So at base, if you get level 4 Pink F upgrade in game, you have 948.75 shields if you have all 5 shield bars full. So Henry's pretty tanky. That's a lot of health. That's dang near as much health as a leader has HP. And that's a pure shield bar. So warrior Henry the Red is very tanky, just by himself at base. Now, if you put 3 points into Improved Amulet and get that 10% shield bar length increase, you take the 189.75 level 4 Pink F upgrade, and you times that by 10%, and you get 208.725 health per shield bar. You now take that 208.725 and you times it by 5 shield bars, and now you have 1,043.625 shields. All right. So now he's got over 1,000, which is pretty good. So you can't just look at like, okay, well, that's an increase from what he would normally get, obviously. But what is the net gain? Well, the net gain means that you get plus 94.975 shields in total if you're fully maxed out. So basically you get an extra 95 health when you have a full 5 bars if you take Improved Amulet versus not taking Improved Amulet. However, how often are you really going to be sitting at full bars? Almost never, because you're a tank and your job is to get hit. So you're going to be losing your shield quite often, which means I think what is more important is how much extra shield you get per bar, which is an extra 18.975 shield per bar if you take Improved Amulet on Henry the Red versus not taking Improved Amulet on Henry the Red. So let's break it down in a way that we can all understand here. Improved Amulet at level 3 gives a 10% increase to shield bar length. This results in an extra 17.25 shield per bar, or an extra 69 nice shield total when at a full 4 bars on standard survivors. On Henry, this results in an extra 18.975 shield per bar, or an extra 94.975 shield total when at a full 5 bars. So Is it worth it to take Improved Amulet or not? In my opinion, on a normal warrior, absolutely not. you absolutely should not take it. It's just not worth it. It just isn't. It doesn't make a big enough difference for a 3-point investment, and I also don't think that other classes typically want to be tanking as much. So, you know, these are like even other, I shouldn't say classes, other characters even within the warrior class don't want to be tanking as much as Henry the Red. Henry the Red is the guy who's clearly designed to be a tank. Regular warriors want to tank a little bit, but for the most part, I'd say that they're mostly focusing on balance bar damage, dismemberment damage, stuff like that, over, you know, making themselves tankier. So I don't think Improved Amulet is worth it. I mean, you think about how much a basic enemy deals per hit, and it's like an extra 69 shield at 4 bars isn't even enough to survive like an extra hit from a basic at base with like no upgrades or anything. So that just, it's really not worth it. Then if you look at Henry the Red, though, is it worth it? I think it depends on how you're building him. I'm kind of playing around with Henry the Red right now, and I'll get into more detail when I make a Henry the Red video, an expert guide on him. But it kind of depends. I think that there's potential to take it, especially because if you build Henry the Red a certain way, you can get a bunch of damage reduction perks. So even though I just said like, oh, you know, an extra 69 health is not enough to even survive a basic hit, it might be enough to survive a basic hit at an extra 95 health with all the damage reduction perks that you can also take on him. So the answer is maybe. It depends on your build. If you're somebody who is tanking a little more with Henry the Red and just going all in on balance bar damage and ignoring melee damage, ignoring dismemberment, there might be a place to take Improved Amulet on Henry the Red. Just because there's not really anything else to put points into that makes a lot of sense. Personally, I would say that it's probably still not worth it to put points into Improved Amulet on Henry the Red. I still don't think 95 extra shield is worth it. And I especially don't think that an extra essentially 19 shield per bar is worth it, because it's like you're almost never going to be at full shields because, like I said, you're a tank. You're there to get hit. So most of the time you're not going to find enough amulets to get yourself to max shield. And then it's going to matter even less like towards the end of the game when you're running out of healing items and you're probably not going to have like any shields. So I don't really, I'll get deeper into that into the Henry the Red video, but I wanted to break this down for everybody so that they get an idea of how shields work in this game and what each of these upgrades are doing. Gosh, I hope I'm right on all this. I double, triple checked everything. I think I'm right. I'm certain someone will let me know if I'm not, but I believe this is the case, and I hope that it is, because I want it to inform people as well as I can so that you guys are making better Survivor builds out there, so that Survivor matches in general are much improved, and that you're having an easier time playing Survivor, because I'm a solo queue guy myself, so it's rough out here. You really got to make sure that your builds are in tune and ready to go. But hey, if this video helped you, please like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.